Welcome to No Marks Allowed. This is a show that covers sports, sneakers, and culture. And let's get straight into it. The Denver Broncos have clinched the AFC West, the first divisional winner that wasn't the Kansas City Chiefs in over 5 years. And the question is can Denver take the next step and go to the Super Bowl, or are they still a few years away? Now, the Kansas City game, if you know the Broncos in Kansas City is always a tough place to play. But we should have beat Kansas City last year if it wasn't for a fluke blocked field goal. Who blocks a field goal? So we could have beat Kansas City twice last year, just like we did this year. A lot of people complaining about, oh, they should have blew them out, you know, when they had the backup quarterback. And everybody wants us to blow people out like Cincinnati and Dallas, and then they want us to put up a lot of points like we did against Dallas, Green Bay, and the Giants. But the Broncos is a team that can win in a lot of different ways. We just can't expect the Broncos to blow everybody out. So if you ask me, the Broncos is just going to have to win the Super Bowl to shut up all the doubters because they haven't done it in 10 years. And a lot of people are still going to have doubts. The one thing I don't have doubt of is Bo Nix. Bo Nix can go win you a 34-30 game, a 28-3 game, a 15-10 game, a 10-7 game. When the game is on the line, you can trust Bo Nix. The thing I'm gonna like about Bo Nix, we all know you can't keep everybody on your team. Bo Nix is finding new receivers every day that he trusts in. Michael Bandy from the practice squad. It was Pat Bryant. Little Jordan Humphrey is catching timely balls, and he just came back. What's funny was when we played the Giants, little Jordan Humphrey was on the Giants, and he got the interference call on Riley Moss when the Giants took that lead with like 30 seconds left. So it's crazy how Jordan Humphrey almost hurts us, but now he's helping us. So we all know about Cortland Sutton, Troy Franklin, his homeboy from Oregon. He's gonna trust them. Evan Ingram, he does not get a ton of catches, but when he's open, Bo Nix can find him. The one thing I'm worried about the Broncos is that defensive pass rush. It seems like it is not. It has slowed down a little bit. Nick Bonito hasn't hasn't had a sack in like a few games, and it's like he's not the dominating Nick Bonito we've seen in the regular season. We got to get that pass rush up to par before the playoffs start. Because even if we do get home field advantage, because San Diego, I mean, LA, the Chargers are resting Justin Herbert, so we should get that. But I just feel like we got to get that pass rush. And I think Vance Joseph is trying new things. Like I said on last episode, if Nick Bonito and John Cooper aren't going to get it, he's going to, interchange players on third down, second down to give offenses a different look. He's going to bring Ellis in there. He's going to bring Q Robinson from Alabama in there. He's going to bring Thurnard in there. Like people that we forgot about last season are still getting in the game. So Sean Payton is really dialed up as a coach. It's just we have to see if Van Joseph can, turn that defense up like it was in the beginning of the season. Because I think the defense is tired. It's a long season. We went on a 11 game winning streak, and the defense is just tired. So it's good that Denver can get a bye. Um, you know, we haven't lost a game that we shouldn't have lost yet. We just seen the Rams lose to Atlanta. You seen the Rams lose to Carolina. The teams Denver lost to was San Diego. I'm sorry, I keep calling them San Diego. The Chargers in the beginning of the season, and the Colts, who was the best team in the NFL, according to a lot of power rankings, when they beat us. They were like, that was like the second game of the season, I think it was. And they were like, they went on to become 8-2 before they fell apart with Daniel Jones injury. And you've seen what the Los Angeles Chargers are capable of. They're what 11-5, I think. So 11-5, yeah, 11-5. So I mean, when we lost to Jacksonville, they were the hottest team in the league. So we went on the road to beat Houston with the best defense in the NFL. They had the best defense in the NFL. We went on the road to beat Philadelphia. You see how hot Philadelphia is. And every chance we had to lose a trap game like against Oakland, we didn't. We won that game. So shout out to the Denver Broncos. One thing I like to say though about these NFL playoffs is a lot of fans and a lot of media are saying this Super Bowl or bust for Josh Allen, and they're trying to create a narrative that Josh Allen isn't that dude if they don't make the Super Bowl this year because of Patrick Mahomes not participating. They're trying to make the same narrative about Lamar. If Lamar gets in the playoffs after beating Pittsburgh, they're gonna say, "Oh, Lamar and Josh Allen, they just don't have the clutch gene." I go by the saying that quarterbacks don't win Super Bowls, teams win Super Bowls. And the Ravens don't have the same defense they had last year and the last few years. Um, the Bills don't have the same personnel they had the last few years. And plus, teams gotten better. Like the Denver Broncos got better. Houston, you seen they destroyed Buffalo. So Buffalo is going to have to win on the road. And I don't think you could say Josh Allen isn't that dude because he couldn't make the Super Bowl when Mahomes is out. We got new challengers. We got the Denver Broncos in the NFC. We got the Seattle Seahawks with Sam Darnold. So we have to see. I'm not, just saying it's Super Bowl or bust for Josh Allen and the Bills just because Patrick Mahomes is not in this year's playoffs. Because teams win Super Bowls, not players.
You know, you look at this crowd, everybody in orange. This is about as close to a college university you can get.
Mile High Stadium in sunny Denver, Colorado. Never before has a championship game been played here.
Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Mile High Stadium on a beautiful Sunday afternoon. It's AFC.
So the NFL was just awesome this Christmas weekend. The games were incredible. The Christmas Day matchup was incredible. And much of the chagrin to Charles Barkley, he said the NFL was some greedy bastards, that Christmas used to belong to them. And he was very upset. Here's what Charles Barkley had to say.
And you know, the NBA, the NFL got greedy and started adding Christmas game. We used to have this day to ourselves, but you know, Roger Goodell, them pigs at the NFL always want to hog every day of the week now.
They can't play on
We are, the NBA.
Hey, dude, we are on ESPN.
I saw those guys yesterday on ESPN talk about it, and they're right. Christmas is an NBA day. That is it.
Okay. I didn't think. Okay, thank you, Chris Kringle. I didn't know that Christmas.
18th
I didn't know
straight
that the
day.
birth of Christ.
18th straight year. That's a
because of basketball.
5 games in a day.
Christmas is an NBA day.
Roger Goodell.
Roger Goodell trying to hog every day of the week, and they on Saturday now too.
The
On
78.
Friday.
Well, Charles Barkley, you even said it yourself. Today's NBA stinks. Everybody does everything. Well, everybody doesn't do anything but shoot a million threes. And I was a defender of the NBA. I still watch the NBA from time to time. I enjoy the game. I'm a league pass watcher. I'm not like some of these phony people that just bet on the NBA and don't even know what they're betting on and don't even know what happened on the game. They just know if they parlay hit or not. But it's the NBA's own fault. And the NBA just flat out stinks. Even though I'm a sports fan, I'm going to watch it because it's live. The NBA sucks. First of all, the inconsistency of today's players, even some of the superstars, is unbelievable. Like, you have a non-televised NBA League Pass game where Anthony Edwards has 55 points, Steph Curry has 56 points, and then the next day, if they play the back on the back, you play that game on a national televised game, TV station like TNT or Peacock or ESPN, and they have a stinker. They have 18 points or 17 points. And you're like, damn, they calling this guy Anthony Edwards Jordan and he having 18 points? Then you got people sitting out for no damn reason. And I know the people that's betting on the NBA games on parlays, and they're betting some of these young players early in the morning because they got better odds. I had a parlay that was going to pay me $2,500. I won the parlay, but 3 players sat out, and it only paid me $272. Now listen to the players that sat out: Lloyd McCartney, Cade Cunningham, and Josh Giddey. These guys range from the age of 22 to 25, and none of them was hurt. They just sat out for rest. So you took my parlay down from almost 2,500 to $272. And suppose you wanted to watch Josh Giddey play, or you wanted to watch Kay Cunningham play, and he's sitting out for no reason at all. That's why another reason y'all lost Christmas to the NFL. Because these players are just so pampered, it's ridiculous. They're like, why did they sit out? Oh, rest. And they played the next game. That wasn't injured or nothing. And then please don't schedule Anthony Davis on Christmas. Because that nigga do not like playing on Christmas. This is another thing. Last Christmas, I think it was the Lakers and the Warriors. Or was it the year before last Christmas? Anthony Davis plays 2 minutes and gets hurt, and they sit him out the game. Now imagine if you had Anthony Davis going for the over in points or anything. You lost your money because DraftKings just did the early exit this year. This nigga Anthony Davis does the same thing against Dallas. So we got Anthony Davis, who's been killing it, Cooper Flag, who's been killing it, going against the Warriors on Christmas night or Christmas Day. Anthony Davis, I'm sorry, goes out with a groin injury. Even though Cooper Flag is good, we wanted to see that matchup between two Western Conference heavyweights fully healthy. We wanted to see what Davis and Cooper Flag can do against Jimmy Butler, Steph, and Draymond. We wanted to see that, and we didn't because Anthony Davis comes up limp in the second quarter and couldn't play. So Golden State handled Dallas, handily. Until y'all make playoff games during Christmas, which you're not because the season starts in October, don't be mad because the NFL took over Christmas. The NFL seen the NBA's weakness. They seen the complaints about NBA. You even said it yourself. Today's game was suck. I was defending the NBA, but like I said, today's NBA is suck. You might as well don't even gamble until the playoffs start if you do parlays because you never know when these mugs is gonna sit out. They just sitting out for rest, and you can lose your money like that, or drastically waste your money on parlays. That's gonna drop significantly because the odds is gonna change. And for the viewing pleasure, what if I wanted to see the Pistons with the young superstar Cade Cunningham go against the Lakers, Luka, LeBron, and Austin Reeves, and they say, "Oh, Luka and LeBron is sitting out for maintenance." Right before the game started, you coming home from work thought you was gonna see Cade Cunningham, the young superstar in Detroit, against the fully healthy Laker game, and two of their best stars sit out. Then it's the pettiness that go on teams. I've seen injury reports when I'm playing DraftKings where okay, say it's Boston versus the Heat. Okay, and say Jason Tatum is sitting out. They announced that at 3 o'clock. Well, at 5 o'clock, Miami's gonna announce that Tyler, you sitting out Jason Tatum? Oh, we're sitting out Tyler Hero. We're gonna sit out our star for maintenance. Oh, you're gonna sit out your star for maintenance? Okay, we're gonna sit out Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown for maintenance. Then an hour later, Bam Adebayo and is also sitting out for maintenance. So now you got Miami and Boston being petty. Boston is sitting out there two top stars, and Miami's sitting out there two top stars. Now they're being petty because they're okay. These are not significant, um, you know, injuries for these two stars. So we're gonna sit our two stars. Now you got everybody in the NBA doing it. So if Denver comes cross country to go against Milwaukee, say that these are the two top teams in the NBA. Say that we might meet these guys in the finals. I'm not trying to show them too much. Let's sit Aaron Gordon and Jamal Murray for rest. So now you only get to see these guys twice a year, once in Denver and one in Milwaukee. You think you're going to see the fully healthy Nuggets team against Giannis and the Bucks. But then they might say, oh, Jamal Murray is sitting out. Oh, let's just sit Giannis for maintenance. So now you're not seeing nobody, and you like I said, you coming home to watch a game, and everybody's sitting out. So the NBA did it with themselves. The players are too pampered. They're sitting out for rest. It all started with Kawhi Leonard, and then it started happening with LeBron James, and now it's happening to every superstar in the NBA. People sitting out games. They even made it, and the NBA knows it's a problem because they made a rule saying, oh, if you don't play a certain amount of games, you can't qualify for MVP. So yeah, the NBA, y'all done it to yourselves. No wonder Christmas was taken over by the NFL. And it's like you can watch 2 NBA games in a span of one NFL game. And one NFL game is a sense of urgency because it's only 16 games. It's 82 games in the NBA. And you could make the argument if the only reason we watched NBA on Christmas because wasn't nothing else is on. But if you're the NFL, Roger Goodell, you know the NFL is the number 1 league in the world. You're gonna put the NFL on Christmas and see how it does. And the NFL don't lose. I'm sorry. And another thing, the best game of the night where people went off was Anthony Edwards and Nikola Jokic. You got the person that was the MVP 3 times, and then you got Anthony Edwards, who people want to be the face of the NBA. You put that on 10:30. You could have had that on a lot earlier, and that game was awesome. It went into overtime. Anthony Edwards hit the three to send it into overtime, but it came on at 10:30 at night. And after eating all that good food and opening them presents, no one on the East Coast watched it. So the NBA, y'all lost at Christmas to the NFL, and it's y'all fault.
23 of the Spurs' 48 points in the first half. Just under the 8-minute mark, and stolen. Here's Castle on the break. Has Wemby running. Oh my! What was that? What was that?
Excellent job by Kelly Olynyk again defensively, and Victor just outruns the white jerseys. Steph Castle throws it up there. Victor Wembanyama.
Man, the AFC North has been a mess. First of all, the Cincinnati Bengals, you know they needed defense, and they're having trouble signing their first-round draft pick over language in the contract. And then Aaron Rodgers, he didn't sign to the Steelers until like the 11th, 12th hour. We didn't even know Aaron Rodgers was going to become a Steeler until the last minute, and they didn't draft a quarterback. Then the Ravens, who were, going about their same old business every year in the offseason of being the Super Bowl contender, people predicting them to go to the Super Bowl, they start off at 1-4. Not only that, when they get a 3-4 game win streak, Joe Burrow gets injured, comes out of nowhere for a losing Cincinnati team, and comes in the M&T Bank and beat Baltimore soundly, trying to ruin their playoff hopes. So we're thinking the Ravens is cooked, but they go into Cincinnati and shut them out. And for as the Steelers, Tomlin, they acquire DK Metcalf and Aaron Rodgers to help them go to the playoffs. I'll get them back into Super Bowl contention, however you want to make it. DK Metcalf gets suspended 2 games for punching a fan that's been harassing him. Then on top of that, they can kill Baltimore's playoffs hopes by beating a measly Cleveland Browns team. But the person that they, acquired to help them win these last 2 games gets suspended for 2 games. How can this happen? This AFC North has been a complete mess. And for God's sake, we're going to be put out their misery on Sunday night. It's going to be one of these teams, the Baltimore Ravens or the Pittsburgh Steelers, just don't get the playoff berth. And a lot of people are saying whoever wins this playoff matchup, the coach might get fired for the losing side, and they're going to be the weakest team in the playoffs. And I feel why San Diego, or should I say the Chargers, are sitting their starters against Denver. Not only to give, Herbert a rest, but they feel like if they can go against New England, Pittsburgh, or the Baltimore in the playoffs, those are obviously the weakest teams in the playoffs. So this playoff matchup, on paper, if you would have told us that in the beginning of the season, last game of the season, it was going to be the Steelers and the Ravens for the AFC North on Sunday Night Football, you would have thought the winner was going to win the division and get a home game, and at least the loser was going to get a wild card. Whoever loses this game ain't getting in at all. So we might have a 9-8 team. We're going to have a 9-8 team, basically, in the playoffs, the winner of the AFC North. If you would have told me that before the season started, I would have never thought it. I would have thought at least Baltimore was going to win the division. I didn't think it was going to be win or your season is over, but the AFC's been a mess. The AFC North, I should say, has been a mess, and there you have it. Hopefully it's a good game. Hopefully we get the marquee matchup between Lamar Jackson and Aaron Rodgers and not Snoop Huntley. But I like to reiterate, DK Metcalf fumbled that bag. You know they talk about the Ravens having the weak secondary, but now two of your best receivers might be out. DK is out for sure. I don't know about Washington, but damn, I don't know about Austin. But if the Ravens don't win this game in Pittsburgh, if Lamar is in, and these backup receivers that the Steelers have a field day against Humphreys and Wiggins, oh, it's time for Harbaugh to go. And I don't see how you don't fire Mike Tomlin if they lose, because this is a total collapse. Like, you had to beat one team, the Cleveland Browns, to get into the playoffs, and you could not do that. So I feel sorry for both of these coaches. They're threading on a hot seat, especially if they lose.
Good job, young man. Stay up. You know it.